I call them, or fundamentals. And actually, the fundamentals are the most important part of our practice so that we work the whole body. We try to build coordination, develop more spatial awareness, and most important thing is to be mindful and conscious of what we're doing so that we can pay attention. A lot of movements that we've built over the years, we take it for granted. At this stage, what we want to do is backtrack a little and kind of figure out how we learned the movements to begin with. That includes walking, includes moving your limbs to do certain tasks. All of these things we do simply because we can or could. But now, let's go back and learn how we can improve or refine some of those type of motions that we need to do certain tasks. So, okay, let's start off with our feet 90 degrees, okay? So that's an angular position right where the heels meet, and we open it up like this, okay? So if you're not sure what that 90-degree position would be, if you were standing in a corner and you had the two walls running sort of in this direction, your feet would be parallel to them. So essentially you're standing in this corner. If we square the feet, you're like that. And if you look down and you had a corner in the back, it looks like you're standing on home base. So we're standing in the shoulder width stance, so we bring our hands up like this. Okay, so I call this the hoop position, and we're going to turn our waist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands here. Let's tip to the side. 1, 2, 3. So a lot of these movements are just like what you think of calisthenics, but we're working actually for the geometry of positions. We're learning to hold our postures in different configurations. And right now we're in a standing position, bending to the side, getting a little bit of a stretch, looking for a direction, so it's directly to your side. Okay, next. Let's bring our hands up, shoulder height, reach down, stretch a bit, relax the tension. If you feel tight, this will help you to the right and to the left. Center, inhale, exhale. So we breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose, slowly with the tongue touching the roof of your mouth. Inhale, exhale, release, turn, turn, inhale again, exhale. One more time, hands up, reach down, 1, 2, 3, to your right, 2, 3, to your left, 2, 3, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist. So I'm facing you, so this is all mirror image. Okay, circular movements. So mirror image is if I'm using my right, you're using your left. So we're turning like this. So waist rotation. Relax from the ankles up. Relax your neck. So you're sort of creating this circular movement between your neck and your ankle. Your feet are flat on the floor. And reverse. Eight, 9, and 10. Okay, let's cross. Okay. Hold the kneecaps. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch, go the other way. Switch the hands. Rotate around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, hands on your waist. Okay, stand in a vertical position, turn the neck. 1, 2, 3. You're turning the head. 4, look to the side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and center. Down, up, 1, 2. Don't use a lot of physical force. Just go through it. It's like a stretch, creating a motion that's forward and back. And center. Okay, let's tilt to the side, get a little stretch. 1, 2, 3. Sort of try to put your ear toward your shoulder. That's the direction of movement. Stretch, 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 and stretch. Okay, now up, vertical, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Going the other way, other direction. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, center. Hands up. Fold your elbow out to the side and up on your toes. Let's try that again. Pull in. Lift the elbows, relax the shoulders, out to the side, up on your toes, and down. Now we're going to inhale as we rise up and spread the arms. Exhale as the arms go down and we bottom out with the heel. Inhale, exhale. Okay, now we're going to spread the feet. You notice I'm pivoting on the heel and the toe. That way we stay connected to ground. I'm going to turn, turn, and turn. So let's do this a few times. Relax the shoulders. Don't hold the arms out like this. You know, that's more like a Superman move. We're just going to relax. Take the rigidity out of your arms. Relax the shoulders. Let your torso turn and yield to the motion. Okay, center. Hands on your waist. Let's close it up. Get our heels together. Okay, once the heels are together, we're going to work a drill to pivot our feet and square the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me turn around. Okay, so we have our heels together. 1, 2, so your feet are square or parallel. Angular, 45 and 45 makes 90. And square. Corners. And square. Okay, now I'm going to kick the heel out. See my shoulders turn, see how that kicks the heel out? We're going to sit back and turn, go forward and back. Forward and back. So that's your stance. This is a Tai Chi stance. We can go up to the toe up position, or we can leave the front foot down. So what you're developing is how to change directions and how to transfer weight from one leg to the other and control that so that you soften your feet, soften the legs, and build that relationship of integrating the legs right and left sides, and you go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go forward again and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So you see the knee they're alternating. One bends and the other one straightens. The other one bends and the front foot straightens. So when you straighten, that's the unweighted leg. You see how this was free to move? We shift the weight and look at, I pivot the unweighted leg, and then I fill that up with weight and I turn. Now this has, so you can tell which leg is free to move. The one that has the most weight becomes the stabilizer. That's the stability leg. So that's the rooted leg, and that's the one that carries most of the weight. So when I go forward, that becomes the weighted leg, and this becomes the unweighted, and that's the one that's free to move. So if I wanted to take a step forward, I'd either pass through here, or I would toe out and then pass through. Okay, so that's just giving you an idea of pivoting and shifting weight is so critical in how we walk, how we step, how we turn, how we change directions. All of that happens in the lower half of your body. Okay, so we direct all of our movements based on which way we're turning. But if you turn your eyes and you don't move your body, you get stuck. So we learn to move, and then the body responds in taking us in a direction. Then the pivoting part of this footwork is so critical for changing directions. Now, while we're standing in this square stance, the tendency to move would be in the frontal direction. So that's why when we're in this parallel shoulder width stance, that gives you a center of balance. When not like this, you have a narrow base and then your shoulders are up here, so you're kind of like standing in a triangle. When I spread my feet, it's more square, more of a rectangle, so that the weight is much more distributed. Now, if I really want to take a step, I actually have to move the foot in before I move it out. See? So by the fact that we're learning to shift our weight and move from side to side, that's going to help us control our center of mass, or center of gravity. Because when you can't control your center, then, and your feet don't move, the tendency for you to fall over would be more, because you become stuck in your top heavy. If you're top heavy, you're going to topple. So to learn how to move your feet before that happens is very important. So for fall prevention, or learning how to shift from side to side, will alleviate some of those type of conflicts in your movement, or maybe avoid some of the symptomatic things that would cause you to be in a position that's compromised, and you end up losing your body position, which is control of your center of mass. Your center of mass, when we're standing, would be here. But if we were like this, the center of mass goes up. If we don't take this foot and move forward, then the center of mass stays here, and what is your top heavy, and you have much more weight on top, then what happens? You want to tip over. So let's keep our center of mass low by relaxing the upper body and keeping our center low below this position. That's where our center of mass is. About 3.5 inches below your navel. That's your center of mass. Everything should stem from here. Okay? So when we shift and we move, if we keep our center of mass controlled, then we have the ability to take the step, make a transition, all of that tied to our footwork. Okay, next. Loosen the upper body. Shoulder rolls. Okay, so just moving the body, get the upper body more relaxed. Biggest conflict in movement is tension. So let's override the tension by moving. That's the only way we can keep things more gentle and soft, by moving and staying in motion, right? Just think of when things are in motion, it's much more fluid. A good analogy is water. When water is fluid and flowing, whether it's downhill or flowing down the mountain through the cracks, it's fluid. What happens when it freezes? It becomes solid And when something freezes and becomes solid, it's stiff and it's hard. So to avoid that, we have to let it dissolve. So dissolve the tension in your body by letting it melt away through fluid movement, getting your shoulders to relax, getting your shoulder girdle to relax. In fact, your whole torso should feel like it's moving in a direction. So we move our body in the front, we must be moving our body in the back, because there's a balance between your torso. While we're going like this, your body actually would be moving like that, and we're moving like this, your body feels like it's moving backwards. Okay? Good. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do a lot of these deep breathing, the specific exercise, so that you can practice moving your limbs, standing up on your toes and relaxing and letting go. So that helps you to control your center. It helps to strengthen your feet and your toes that are so important in keeping balance and stability. Now, because your toes actually are helping you control this balancing of the position as part of proprioception, there's feedback that goes up here, down there, and back, and that kind of lets you know what your body should be doing to maintain that vertical position. So that's very important. Deep breathing helps us do that. It's also softening and relaxing this area of the body, so important to expand and contract in the breath so we don't feel overwhelmed by tension and stiffness. You know, the stiffness that you can get in the body can be overcome by learning to move it. Learn to move this area rather than just stay rigid like this. So if you feel rigid like this because of the stress or the anxiety, then take a few breaths. And you focus on that movement as you inhale and exhale. Now, one of the things, or one of the methods that we use in breathing is to breathe only through the nose. We inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and by keeping your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, it makes it easier to breathe only through your nose. Because once the tongue is against the roof, it's almost impossible to breathe through your mouth. So that's something that will happen over time as a habit. So you end up breathing through your nose, more naturally, and becomes something that you get used to. So just work toward that with the inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so we just did the shoulder roll. Now we're going to do the arm swing. Press and release. So we exhale and inhale on the forward stroke. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Feet about shoulder width, and you exhale, inhale. Breathe through your nose, just like I just mentioned, tongue up, touching the roof of your mouth. And stop. Now we're going to bring the hands up again, fold out to the side, up on your toes, and down. Now we're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, now 2 circles. I'm going to make 2 circles, all moving my legs. So you see how it's appears kind of rigid, but that's going to help us learn to move our knees when we start to bend them. and then lift up, bend, and lift up. So you see, looks like the whole body is integrating by coordinating the circular movement and tying the elbows with the knees. So everything that we're doing is trying to release. Now relax your lower back if you feel like it's getting a little bit stiff. Relax. Okay, let's reverse. And center. Okay, shake it out. Try to take a couple deep breaths again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so this area is your lower back. A lot of people are very tight there. A lot of people injure this area. And then this is your abdominals, your stomach. A lot of people work these muscles, they call them the core muscles, and a lot of people do a lot of sit-ups, a lot of people do planking. Most of us that, as you get older, we do a lot less of that. Actually, you don't need to do all of that type of thing where you're lying down on your, or lying on your stomach and lifting your body to create that rigid position, and then standing here and doing 100 sit-ups to strengthen this. All of that creates, I guess, tighter muscles, but it also creates tension, and it also creates, even though it's strengthening, it doesn't allow much mobility. So I would rather you use these muscles in motion like this and tie it to breathing. Because if you're breathing using this apparatus, then you're actually working those muscles. You're working the muscles in here. I don't have much of a belly, but I don't do sit-ups either. So, in fact, I think sit-ups, when you do too many of those, end up being a conflict. Younger people will do them. As you're older, you don't need to do a lot of those. You just have to do things like we're doing here. This is actually using all of your muscles. Your core is using your back. You should relax. Let this stuff move by itself as part of, don't hold it stiff and try to do that, because all of this stuff really has to be part of that integration we're talking about. Even when you walk, your body is working as part of that movement. So you have to integrate your body, let the body balance in motion, and you'll actually work your whole body. That's why we're doing all of these different exercises to not just work the whole body on a physical level, but learn to integrate the body and discover the relationship that we have on our body to balance everything. If we work a set of muscles and we don't work that other set of muscles, it becomes imbalanced. If you work triceps or biceps a lot, depends on what you do. If you do a lot of these curls, especially if you're just working those, your arms are going to be in this bent position because this muscle wants to curl. So the thing is, learn to stretch, let it balance in motion. That's what we have to do. When we do this, we reverse. Now we're going to go to this position. We're going to go up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if it's the first time doing it, what's happening is you're moving from your shoulders. They have to be relaxed for there to be a complete motion. So we make 2 circles. 1, 2, and on 3, it goes all the way up. And then 1, 2, and go all the way up. So all you're doing is reversing the direction. Once you get to the top, you got nowhere to go. You're up against your head, so go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's just like a pendulum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. So we're increasing the range of motion, working this and get all this area to free up. Otherwise, you'll have that tension again. So this actually releases this. But I don't want you to hold it there and get tense. I want you to just reach there and let it go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and let it go. Okay, so letting it go is just to get rid of that excessive tension before it locks you up. All right, here, deep breathing in and down. Inhale and down. So we'll just do 2 there. Okay, let's shift the weight, bring the foot together. Let's find that center, balance. Bring it back in, shift the side, shift the weight, bring the foot next to that foot. Find your center, come forward. So see how that helps you to learn to find your center. Your center is between your feet right now, right? So that's your point of balance. So if that's my point of balance, I can't pick up this foot until I pass my center and shift that center over to the supporting leg, and then you have a new center. And that's what constantly happens when you're in motion. You have to find your center before you lift the not supporting leg. That's the insubstantial leg. The unsupported side is the free side. That's the foot that's going to take the step. Okay, now we're going to lift from there. Shift and lift. Shift and lift. And I find it sometimes amusing that people can find their balance when they lift their leg. And what is the reason for that? Why can people do this exercise a little better than standing on one leg? Because when you're like this, you really don't know where your center is until you lift the leg. And the reason why it tracks toward the center a little better is because your hips are connected. So there's no way you can go like this and lift the knee out here. It wants to come toward your center. So that's the reason why people have an easier time when they start to lift their leg toward the knee up position, because you have to actually come across until your hip is over to here. Now, if you have extremely wide hips, that shift is going to be much more apparent and it's going to be bigger. So that's something that you have to work with, depending on your anatomy and how much you have to shift, you work with that. Now, if you have trouble finding your center, use a counter. The kitchen counter is sort of the perfect height to support yourself to find that balance point, and then use that as a crutch. I say the kitchen counter height because that's about 36 inches. If you use a chair, it's down here, so maybe if that's the only thing you have to work with, use that. But the kitchen counter is something you can use too. So anyways, from here, deep breathing again. Because we do so many of these, it's probably the most toe raises you have done for a long time if this is the first time. Okay, let's spread the feet. Hold the ball. Okay, hold the ball is this, and we're going to go for it. This is called silk reeling. So we do this as a continuity exercise, and it's probably hard to track in the beginning because you're sitting like this and you're going forward like this. So we have those two stances. It's not 100% like this that we were doing earlier. We're a little bit slanted to that corner, and then we're back. So my feet are actually angled slightly. I go forward and back. That's one. Okay, now I'm going to go 1, 2. So look at that position. 3, 4. And then 5 is here. I'm looking at the side mirror. 1, 2. Turn. 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's shoulder, hip. So you cross your body. Cross your body. There's that first position. Separate the hands. That's position. So if we're here, that's the front position. We separate the hands. That's diagonal flying. When we turn like this, it also is part the horse's mane. And this is starting position. And we're back. Okay, let's go to the other side. Same stance, feet kind of in that corner, 45 degrees. Hold the ball, which is this. I use a shoulder hip reference. It's 1 and 2. We separate the hands. Just hold the ball to diagonal flying. We sit back and turn. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. This is the position over there. This is 3 and 4. And this is 5. When we integrate and combine the movements, this is what we have. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So, integration of body where the hands are working as a relationship, and the legs, which are working as a relationship, and then the hands and legs working as a relationship is really sequences of events, and these sequences of events, so we're learning sequences in really programming orderly movement. These orderly movements is really, a sequence of events where one hand works with the other, the legs work with the hands, and you build that integration, which becomes sort of wiring your system so that your body knows this movement. It's really timing and getting the two sides to, correspond with each other, letting each side know, well, this is up and this is down, this is the body turning, this is a hand position. So all of these is dealing with space, spatial awareness, proprioception, knowing where your body is within the realm of a space, because that's really what's happening. When we stand up and we move from one room to the next or from here to there, we're dealing with our space. And we have to identify the space, identify the direction, and know where our limbs are going and how we use our limbs to take us to where we have to go, or to take the movement and do what it's supposed to be doing. So really, movement is essential to life. It's essential to everything that we're doing, because movements are not just a concept. It's really to do task, functionality. To move our legs doesn't do anything until we start to use it to walk. Legs don't do anything until we get them rigid enough to stand. So all of the things that we're doing is using it for function. When we get out of a chair, we have to use our legs a certain way. When we, swing our arms, we have to do, there's a purpose for all of it. If we make a circle, all of this is for a task. Whether you're wiping a table, cleaning a window, holding a glass, moving your hand up and down, even feeding yourself, you would have to actually fold your elbow. There's no way you can get this hand to here without folding your elbow. So how do you fold your elbow? You can fold it like this. You can fold it like this. Should your hand be up or should it be down? When we do this, we turn it over. We're capable of doing that because the two bones in here rotate. But you say, well, when do I ever need to do that? So when you pour something, when you fill a glass, when you put salt on your food, when you flip something over like a pancake, that's the action. So the only way to develop that action is to create the motion and then refine it to do it the way it's supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be doing it. So we're really doing a lot of the things that are happening in movement virtually. But what happens when you do movement virtually, because you're not using any force, you're not using any strength, you're just directing the movement with your mind to create an action. And what happens with those actions is you create circulation. Good circulation happens from moving those. So if you cook once a day or you don't cook, you never will be doing this. So that's just one example. But where we're doing this as an exercise, we're always constantly moving our joints and our ligaments and tendons the way they were designed to move. So that will help circulation, it'll help improve your movement, and help improve your understanding that we're conscious of these actions. So that's really what we're working toward with all of these different motions. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now we have an opening and closing movement like this, but we're just going to do it for newer people without the leg work. We're just going to cross and open, cross and open, cross and open, cross and open, cross and open. And we're actually doing this so that we cross with the elbows down and then open to horizontal, cross and open. Now when we do deep breathing, we're not crossing, we're just meeting and merging at the center. Now this one is a little bit different. We're crossing with elbows down and we're open. Now whether we open like this or like this makes it a little bit more complicated, but we're crossing and open. So this is opening and closing. So that's expanding and contracting, or open and close as an exhalation or inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. So there's different ways of timing your breath, but that gets a little bit more complicated. We just do the movements first, allow the breath to happen naturally, and then eventually we'll discover the relationship between your breath and your movement, because breath and movement actually happen, spontaneously as you need to breathe without forcing it. But certain movements we actually will focus on coordination of breath, where you rise, inhale, exhale as you go downward, inhalation goes up and down. So, that's something you'll pick up over time. Okay, next we have a series of movements that are actually part of the form. This is called preparation. So with this group of movements, we're actually working off of some of the postures in the form. So this is a starting movement, preparation. And then after doing that, say half a dozen to a dozen times, we go to this position called the lower hoop position. So here's more of the geometry of position. That's a circle, a hoop. Elbows cup rounded out and shoulders cup forward slightly, fingertips rounded and spaced out, gently opening the fingers, hollowing the palm, which is rounding out here. hold about 3 or 4 inches apart between the fingertips, maybe using your middle finger as a gauge. And we go up to about shoulder level, hold that position, breathe through your nose, tongue touches the roof of your mouth. Let the fingertips spread out naturally, leave about 4 to 5 inches, or a little bit bigger than that, 5 to 6 inches between the fingertips. Now from here, we're going to drop the elbows. This actually is a triangular position. If we put the fingertips together, spread from the wrist, that means your wrist kind of folds over, cranks back, and relax. Clear your thoughts. Breathe through your nose. Now we're going to take it down lower. So I'm just going through some of these positions. You can hold these, as long as you want. You can go up to 1 or 2 minutes on each of these different positions. This is the vertical position. Lift the neck, lift the spine, and extend. Fingertips straight, extending down, lifting up as if suspended from above. Okay, good. Deep breathing. So that's a very simple exercise. I wanted to give you a bit of explanation of holding these positions. Really, there's a lower hoop, a middle hoop, and an upper hoop. Just work the shoulder height one and the lower one as 2 of the positions in the triangle position. And so there's 5 different positions. Those 5 positions, standing meditation means you just stay in your position, clear your thoughts, and let the body relax as much as possible, but still maintain a little bit of tension, but not rigidity. Don't stiffen. Just feel, let your body align ligaments and tendons, and then let your circulation flow through your appendages, and hold these positions with as little strength as possible, and maintaining the shapes of these positions with using what we call the mind intent. Your intention is to hold that position and around the position, and then you let it go. Now, your body responds and holds that position, and then it starts to, because it is holding it, there is some activity going on, and that's where the circulation comes in, and you'll feel your fingertips pulsing, you'll feel blood circulating, and you feel throbbing in the fingertips when the hands are down. That's your circulation moving, and that's part of the results of holding these positions. So it's called holding meditations, standing meditation. It is using a bit of energy to hold that position. That energy is created by the bit of tonus in your musculature that allows you to form these positions without sort of collapsing. Now, if you just collapse, the same thing, you won't get that same feeling simply because nothing is actually happening in that state. All right. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to do another set of movements. So those movements, we're just standing there, clearing our thoughts, not a whole lot of movement. So that would be the stillness side of the practice. Now we bring our hands to this position, and these are really the 2 circles that we had earlier, but we're going to move one hand up at a time. So you're alternating circles. That's all you're doing. Now, once this hand is here, turn in that direction. Once this hand is up, turn in this direction. Just follow the way I'm turning. This is mirror image, so just follow it along. I'm going this way. I'm turning this way. I'm turning, and I'm turning. Okay, so these movements are called cloud hands. Wave hands like clouds. Move the hands from side to side, making 2 circles. When one is up, one is down. And we keep working these movements until we build a bit of coordination. So you're turning from the back, from the spine. Let your body freely go with the turn. So this is one of the reasons why you don't want your back to be so stiff. Because this actually will help you alleviate some of the tension in the lower back. Once you develop some motion in there, and then down. So the other thing is, when you bend, that takes some of the tension out of your back as well. So that's in this direction. This is in direction. We have dimensional movements that are either multidimensional or working within, the XYZ axis. Is 3-dimensional movement really happens in space. If we're just doing this, that's no movement because it's flat. That's 2 dimensions. Okay, so from there, we're going to do the carry tiger to the mountain movement. Okay, so we're going to go like this. So those are the 3 hoops, or the 3 circles. Lower circle, middle circle, upper circle. 1, 2, 3, carry tiger to the mountain, takes you all the way to the top, and then we turn it out. Cross hands. Cross hands means they merge right at the forearm, right on your center line, lower hoop. I'm going up and out, cross and level. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2. So this is called carry tiger to the mountain. Then we're going to do the infinity sign. That's a figure 8 on its side. So you're going out to the side. You have 2 of them that goes out and in, out and in. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now lower the hands. Let them hang down naturally. If we're like this, just fold from the elbow, turn your palm up, roll your hand, and punch. So this is forming the fist and punch. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Okay. Next, palms together. This is called strum the lute. Okay, so it's triangle position. You see the side position, your elbows are bent. There's a gap here, so it's not up against your body. Your shoulders become rigid and frozen here. Let it go. Extend out enough so your fingertips line up just about where your nose is, and you separate the hands. So bring one hand down and then realign the fingertips. That gives you the vertical elbow. All of these are important when you start to do some of the postures, because this is a neutral position. It's a vertical elbow. It's also a strum the lute. Now we separate the hands and you have the thumbs up position. Okay, so this is the vertical, thumbs up. Vertical, thumbs up. On the other side, vertical, thumbs up. So we have one on each side. So look at the elbow facing that way. Look at the elbow facing that way. There's no other way your elbow can face. It only can go out to the sides. That's your horizontal elbow. So when we're like this, even if I turn my hands out like this, elbow's still out to the sides. Okay, so this is the only way your elbow will go. That's natural, okay? So we're going to alternate the shoulders. We put our palms together. The middle finger and the back side touches the thumb. That gives you the true alignment that connects the two sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Switch. Switch the other side, vertical. Middle finger, press together or touch together. Pressing sounds too physical, so let's just connect. But the term press is used for this, but don't think, because if you press too hard, then you create an isometric compression, and you don't want to do that. You're just kind of touching. Okay, next, we're in the middle position. We're going to go back to center. Separate the hands. Thumbs up. Flip the elbows. Find your center. And this gets a little more complicated because that's called beginning style as a transition. Palms together. From here, we extend it out. Now, this is a long one. So you'd see like a 90-degree position here. Now we turn. This is parallel to the floor. Draw the bow. Draw the bow. Draw the bow. So we just do a few more. 1 and pull. 2 and pull. 1 and 2. Okay, next, spread the feet. Let's cross the hands here. Lift up. Lift the elbows up and go out. Notice one hand's on top. Lift up and go out. So just follow me. There's one hand on top. So this hand's on top. Lift up and go in the direction with the hand on top. It's going in the direction of the hand on top. So we expand. Now this is called fan through the back. Okay. Stand up, raise the hand. Raise the hand. Raise the hand. And raise the hand. So this is a hand stretch all the way up, same position as you went like this, except now it's like this. Okay, this is how we go right up through the center, spread the hands and press. Right up through the hand, center and press. So you have two opposite directions. Okay, hands down, deep breathing. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So, for the newer people that's tuning in, it is a lot of different exercises, but don't worry, these are the exercises that we do every class. It's recorded and it's archived. You can look at them, 24/7, weekdays, weekends, nighttime, daytime. You can look at them at any time. Don't look at the whole thing every time. If it's too much, do a little bit, each time to get more familiar by doing it more. And as you build the coordination or actually build a better understanding, as you see it through visual recognition, you'll start to recognize a lot of the things we're doing. And then hearing it often, we're trying to build integration of body, controlling our movements. There's shapes, there's circles, triangles, and squares. Triangles, triangles, squares, circles. Okay, so that's all you have to remember. Triangles, circles, and squares. Create the shapes by letting your limbs create some of these configurations by learning to what I call the manipulation of skeletal structure. Let your joints form these positions, and then through time, over time, you're going to build muscle memory. So muscle memory is really joint angle positions. So, we maneuver so we could create these shapes to look a certain way. That's what these postures are. Postures are a combination of these different shapes to create a certain look. When we're like this, that's a diagonal flying. When we're like this, that's a brush knee. So those are, positions that you haven't, if you're just trying the class for the first time, you're not familiar with, so over time you'll start to see more of it. Now, anybody that's working the form who's been doing this and, coming to the academy over the period of the 8 or 9 months, you've probably gone through some of the postures. We've strung it together. You do the linear form like we do. So if you're at that stage and this is a little bit too slow in learning the form, go to the Tai Chi paradigm videos and follow the linear form, and you'll see the postures in order just like you're doing, because there's nothing that we do sequentially in this class that we don't do in the Tai Chi paradigm. It's consistently practiced throughout. So the Tai Chi paradigm is the form that you're doing. If you're learning the mapping of the form, that's in the Tai Chi paradigm tutorials, and it's also in the live sessions. So it's good. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we do the Tai Chi paradigm. You can follow that live class and do practically everything we do here, but the explanation is going to be a little bit different in those classes because we move a little quicker through, the sequence because of the experience that a lot of people have. But for the people that are doing this class, do what we've been doing as archive, and we'll just follow it along. Now, in this class, I want to work before we end the class a few steps forward, which is, we have this circle that's clockwise and counterclockwise. So you follow me in this direction. This is clockwise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this can be a little bit smaller. Doesn't have to be here. Just go up about eye level. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is clockwise. 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, right? 9, 6, 3, 12. That's counterclockwise. Now we're going to step forward. 1, 2, 3. That's back, 2, 3. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So if anything, you're going to know your right and left when you're done with this. Now we're going to go clockwise going forward. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to try it again. Right, left, right. Now we're going to go backwards. Right, left, left. Okay, left, right, left. Let's go forward. Right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is a very good exercise to practice your movement, walking, getting your hands to work with your legs, and keeping everything fluid, because you want to avoid the rigidity, get your hands and legs moving as a relationship, and you're really paying attention to what you have to do there. If you have a little trouble, just keep trying and trying to do it until it starts to click. Now, for anyone that's working the form, here's a suggestion that Tuesday, Thursday, we have live classes with the PD class, but Tuesday and Thursday, we also have the Tai Chi Paradigm class at 9:30. So if you have time during the mornings, do the Tai Chi Paradigm in the morning and do the PD class afterwards, because it's both. You can do the exercises with the morning class at 9:30, or just pick it up when we do the form and then do the exercises with us. I think that's a way to keep things a lot fresher, and you continually add on and improve the sequential learning, because I don't want you to think that because this is the only class you can do and we're not working what you've been working on in other classes, then you're going to fall behind. But so you're afraid you're going to fall behind, by all means do it you can, because they're archived, you can do Monday, Wednesday, Friday Tai Chi Paradigm class, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the PD class. So you have the best of both worlds. You can get more visuals, more exposure, listen to everything that you hear in those classes, and, just through attrition, you're going to pick up a lot more than just watching this once a week. Seeing this is really one of the most important aspects of learning, is because it's very visual. The visual side of learning actually takes in the imagery, the ideas. All of this stuff is very important for your body to pick up, the physical skill, the imagery, and the theory and methods that we have that we're using as a resource to build better body mechanics, building motor skill in the whole body. That's really what we're trying to do. As a motor skill disorder, you want to do as many things that involves your motor skill as possible to learn how to move it and learn through a consciousness and a mindfulness of these motions. So it's much different from just holding positions. You're in motion. So on that note, I'll do this again on Thursday, and the content will be essentially the same, but it might be explained a little bit differently depending on what I'm thinking at that specific time, because every class is done live, and I always have something else that I might bring up because that's apparent to me at that moment. Okay, so I'll see you next time.